Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from. This is Ike Math Academy greeting you. You're welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to do IGCSE past paper questions. I'm doing paper 4. As you can see, I'm going to do paper 4 time zone for 2025. Are you seeing that? May, June 2025. That's the paper I'm going to do. It's a paper 4 where calculator is allowed. Very soon I'll start doing non-calculator paper where I'll be talking about some tips, some things you need to know if you have to do very well in non-calculator paper. But today I'm going to do this paper. Let us go. Let us start this party, right? Good. These are the formulas are given. I don't need to care about that. This was question 1. Find the median of these numbers, okay? This question, it's you are lucky. They arrange the numbers from the smallest to the largest. So you can use, there are very many methods you can use. Let me use the just cancelling. They already arranged from the from ascending to descending. So this one, you see, you are remaining with 2 numbers in between. You add and divide by 2. Okay. You can also go with any plus 1 over 2, and that one also helps you to get the number in the middle. But today, because the numbers are very small, it's better just cancel. You remain with the numbers in the middle. Add and divide by 2 because these are even numbers. If they're odd, you're going to remain with only 1 number. Okay, question 2 is about construction, and they said use a ruler and a compass only, and then using the scale given. Be careful with the scale, guys. Representing this one and then sketch. Me, because it's online, I just try to have overview. You're going to put your compass at this point. You measure. This is 21. What's 21 divided by 3? That means on your ruler, you have to measure 70. So what about here? It will be 15.9 divided by 3. So you're going to get 5.3. Okay. This is what you're going to measure. So you put your compass on a ruler, put a compass here, then measure. Then you put it here, you mark somewhere here. Then you measure 7 again. I mean 7 this side because this is the your point. This is the BC. So this is B. So this will be C. So this one will be 7, and then this one will be 5. Okay, that's the construction. Okay, so you put your compass on your ruler, you measure 7, you put the pencil here, I mean the compass here, then you mark your pencil somewhere here. Then you put your, you put your compass on the ruler, you measure 5.3, you put your compass here, the point of your compass, then you mark the other side. So this should be centimeters, and this one should be centimeters, okay? I've just used the scale. Very good. Now, next question. They gave you the list of the numbers, and then they said from the list to write down a natural number. Guys, what's a natural number? A natural number is any number, the counting numbers, basically positive numbers. So from the list here, this is one of the positive numbers. This is the square root of 144 is 12. So that's why it's either this or this one, because these are the positive numbers, okay? Now, then they said irrational number. Irrational number is any number that cannot be written as a fraction. So it's opposite of rational number. Like this is rational number. So irrational numbers, it's any number that cannot be written as a fraction. So mainly there are 2 examples in IGCSE which you need to know. Any number that has pi, that's anything that contains pi, because pi, you can't write it. When I say pi, I don't mean 27/3, as some people told you. No, I mean pi in your calculator. Okay, be careful. Okay, now anything under square root sign, like square root of any, where n is not a square number, or cube root of n, where any is not a cube number. So basically, you need to know that irrational number. There are very many examples, but here I'm taking the common one, which you need to know in the exam. I'm an examiner. I've been teaching IB and IGCSE exams for quite some time, so I'm basing on that, and that's why I'm giving you these tips. So if you have to know irrational number all the time go. Anything contains pi, any number that's got sign where n is not a square number, or cube of a number and the n is not a cube number. Fantastic. I hope you have understood. If you have any question, please, we see you in the comments. Okay. Now, the diagram shows a pentagon made from two congruent trapeziums. Okay, they say these are trapeziums, and the total of a pentagon is this. That means if you add all of this, this is the area. Basically means the area of each trapezium is this, and the area of this. How did I get this one? The total area, and there are two trapeziums, so you get 130.2 divided by 2. So that one will give you 65.1. Okay, do you understand? That's why I got that. Now, how do we get the area of a trapezium? It's a half a plus b times height. A and b are parallel sides. You see, basically this is one of the sides, which is a and b, the parallel side. Then h is the distance, the height between the two parallel sides of trapezium. So what's the area of one? Was 165.1 equals to a half this side plus that times 7. Fast forward, I'll multiply by 2. You get that? 65.1 times 2. Then I'll divide by 7. So it will give me, what do I mean with? It will give me 11.4 plus x equals to that. Now, fast forward, because I want to get a whole number. So fast forward, this is what we are going to have. So that means I have to correct like terms, then will give me that. And when you divide this one by that minus that, you're going to have the one side of your trapezium as that. Very good. Next question. Convert this centimeter squared to meter squared. Okay. I used to tell my students, and I always say that as well. King Henry died, many dogs cried mad. King Henry died, many dogs cried much. Do you understand what I'm saying? Kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meters, decimeter, centimeter, and meters. So basically, we are from centimeters to meters. We are from smaller unit to big unit. We are going to divide. That's the first thing you have to know. Whenever you are dealing with converting units, one thing I always tell students, and I've seen it works perfectly well, very well, you have to ask yourself, I'm from small to big or big to small? So if you are from big to small, you multiply. And if you are from small to big, you divide. So from meters to centimeters, there is 100. So basically 1 meter is 100 centimeters. Do you understand that, guys? Okay, now these are squared. So basically we have to square our meters. So now, because we are from centimeter to meter squared, I have to divide. Do you understand, guys? So I have to divide. If I'm to divide, then I have to get this one divided by 100. That will be squared because I'm dealing with centimeter squared and meter squared. And when you work out, you are going to have that, which you can give it in standard form or not in standard form because they didn't simplify. Fantastic. Are we together, guys? Convert this one, 0.37 meter cubed to centimeter cubed. So we are from big unit to small unit. This time I'm going to multiply. And it's cubic. So still 1 meter is this one. But because we are in volume, units of volume, I'm going to multiply by 100 power 3. Whenever you're dealing with volumes, you do power 3. And then you divide or multiply depending on where you're going. So if you are dealing with area, you square normal units as usual, okay? Very good. I hope you understand that. Now, one of this is this mass grams. Calculate the number of titanium atoms in kilogram. Okay, you have this kilogram and they are this. I hope everyone sees that. You have to convert these kilograms. So 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So because these are grams, I had to convert this one in kilograms. That's why I got 1,000. So we divide to get your that, and then you give your answer in a standard form. Very good. Here we are. Okay. Now this topic is about. This question is about the topic of sets. So you are given the integers. The keyword here, the integers, from 1 to 12. So basically, they are talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, altogether 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 1 9 included here as well. This is 9. Then you have your 10. Then you have 11 and then 12. Okay, it's better to have this one. Whenever you're dealing with these questions, it's better. Now, even numbers, I've already listed them because I have to pay attention. All my numbers, this is the universal set. So the numbers which are between 1 to 12 that are even numbers, it's 2 all the way to 12. Then they said multiples of 3, again in the universal set, is 3, 6, 9, 12. Very good. Find the number of M. How many elements do you have in set M? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why I have 4 here. Write down the set E intersection M. How many elements that are found in both set M and set E? It's only 6 and 5. This means intersection, elements that are found in the two sets. Okay, very good. Then they say, find the member of E union M complement. So basically, elements that are not in the two sets, which are only here, but they are not in set E and they are not in set M. The complement means not in this. So basically, if you check this list and this, the numbers I don't have from that list are this one. That's the set. Then they asked me to write down any possible values of Y. I wrote all of them, but in the exam, it's not a must. You can write 1, you can write 5, 7, or 11, any of them, because they said write the possible values of that. So basically, that's the answer. Very good. Factorize. Very common questions in IGCSE exams. Okay. Never go to IGCSE exams when you don't know how to factorize. Okay. Now, what's the highest common factor of 28 and 12? Is 4, and x is common. Take x outside. So 20xy divided by 4x, I'll remain with 7y. 12x divided by 4x, I'll remain with that. So that is the answer, right? You can even multiply to check. If I get this times that, basically will give me this. Very good. Now, next question, B, y minus 6x plus 2xy minus 3. Okay, so here, as you can see, you have to be smart enough and see there is no common factor here. So you need to rearrange your stuff very well. So I brought this one closer to this because I can see y is common, and then this one to this one because I'm seeing 6 and that. So y plus 2xy minus 6 minus 3. So what's the highest common factor here? Will be y, and I remain with that. Here, the highest common factor will be 3, gives me 2x plus c, 1. Basically, which is the same as that. You see, whenever you're factorizing, what you have in the brackets should always be the same. So this one and this gives me y minus 3. This is the same as that. I write one of them. So that's the answer. I've got 4 free marks in the exam. Okay, very good. By the way, back to this. I have a video on factorization. If you're struggling with factorization, kindly go and watch IGCSE past paper questions on factorization. Only I have all possible scenarios, different situations, different cases of factorization you need to know. So kindly, if you're struggling with the factorization, go and watch that video. The problem will be solved. I'm here to help you understand every topic in IGCSE math, in IBDP mathematics. So stay here. I'll help you love and enjoy mathematics. EK Math, we love mathematics, and we are passionate about mathematics. Okay, very good. Also, I have another video, by the way, on solving indices or simplifying indices. So also you can watch that video as well. So here, so this times this, that is 35. When you are multiplying numbers of the same bases, you add the power. So x power 5, x power 3, that will give me x power 8. This one and this one, here there is 1. That's why I have 3. Remember, whenever you're multiplying numbers of the same bases, you add the powers. If you are dividing, you subtract. But right now, I'm not going to include the details of that. So, next question. 7 power m equals to 5th root of 7. Basically meaning 7 power n equals to 7 power 1 over 5. I hope you know this one as well. In that video of indices, I explained these rules very well. So basically, this one means a n root of a power m. So using this formula, that's how I'm having this, right? So if bases are equal, this is 7 and this is 7. If bases are equal, powers are going to be equal. So therefore, n is 1 over 5. Fantastic. Here we expand. 2x now. This question I've seen from the years I've been teaching. I've seen students, whenever they reach here, they get 2x minus x and they write 1x. No, You have to know body mass. There's multiplication here. So you have to first multiply. So 2x, this times that gives me 5x. This times that gives me x power 5. Then correct like terms. 2x minus 5x gives me minus 3x. Basically here it's z minus 3x. Do you get that? Plus x power 5 power 3. So if you rearrange your equations, you're going to have that. Okay? Very good. Now, here you are expanding. Another thing that is very common in exams very well nowadays. So here you first expand 2. You can expand in any order, it doesn't matter. I chose to first expand this and this. So x times x gives me x squared. X times minus 5 gives me 5x. 4 times that gives me 4x. 4 times this gives me minus 20. I simplify. This one is x squared minus 5x plus 4 gives me minus x, then minus 20 into this one, which is x plus 3. Then you expand. Get this times that, then when you multiply, you're going to get this, and then when you simplify, you're going to have that. Okay? Very good. Very good question. Very good question of sequences. Okay? Now, here I'm going to slow down and help you fully understand every step. Okay? I hope you're going to understand that. Good. Now, the first sequence A, 28, 32, 16. What's happening, guys? What's the difference? 6, right? Do you see that? They're doing minus 6. Minus 6. Minus 6, okay? Now, if they are doing minus 6, what's 4 minus 6 gives me negative 2. End stop. So, this is the, those who are doing additional math, you should understand arithmetic sequence, but you don't even need to know the formula. Here, what's the difference? It's minus 6, okay? Do minus 6 and you put their end because it's they have common difference. Now, what is 28? 28 minus 6, the difference gives me 34. That's how the answer here will be that, which you can write as the 34 minus 6 and I'm done. Is that okay, guys? Very good. I hope you have understand because they have the common difference. What about here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, these are just normal numbers. It's n. So this will be n, right? Very good. Now, what about here? By the way, I can try to get the next number. Oh, I didn't even answer that. This was the 6th term. Basically here before they simplified, it was 5 over 10. I hope you know you can see that. Huh? Because this was 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 10. Here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you simplify, you get a half. What about here now? Here will be 6 over 11, right? Do you get that? So what's happening now? Whenever you are dealing with sequences and you have fractions, I always advise students, deal with the numerator and the denominator separately. Find any sum of numerator and you find any sum of denominator. So the numerator is n. What about numerator is n? What about denominator? The difference is what, guys? It's what? The difference is you can see it's 1. So it will be 1. What is the first term minus 1? It's 5. That's how I'm getting it because it's easy. It also has the same difference. Minus, okay? Now, next question. 1 over 4, 1 over 2, whatever. Okay, you need to be smart enough and identify what is happening here. So this is the 2 power negative 2. This is 2 power negative 1. This is 2 power 0. This is 2 power 1. 2 power 2, 2 power 3. What will be the next one? Will be 2 power 4. So basically, they still told me to stop here, but you should be seeing the pattern. Now, how do I get that? Remember here, for the first time, n is the 1. So how do I get the negative 2? Yeah, because the 2 is common. So I'm getting negative 2 by getting n minus 3. That is it. But also, those who want to get the formula, because it's geometric sequence, for those who have studied that, if you haven't studied geometric sequence, I can give you the formula. It's un equals to u1 r power n minus 1. Okay. So now, basing on this formula, the first number u1, the first term, you can even go with a, doesn't matter. So it's 1 over 4. The common difference is the second term divided by the first term. So if you get this divided by that, you're going to have 2. Do you get that? Should I do it for you and you see? You can see when they are multiplying by 2. Let me do it from here. 4 divided by 2. So it's 2. Very good. So that's how we get 1 over 4 bracket 2 as common ratio power n minus 1. Then 1 over 4 is 2 power negative 2. Do you get that? So when you're multiplying numbers of the same basis, you add the powers, and this one also gives me the same answer. I have a video on indices, so including this question, by the way, I did this question. So you can also try to watch that video as well. Now, this question, you can approach it in different ways, but I thought it's better to first combine this. We are multiplying, so we need to add the powers. Whenever you're multiplying numbers of the same basis, you add the powers. So the base is 10, then you have 220 plus 80, it will give me that. Now, we are dividing. When you are dividing, we do subtract the powers. Square root means power a half. That's why I put per half instead of square root. You're going to see the reason why. So when you are dividing, you subtract the powers. 400 minus 300 will give me 100. Power a half. When you have such a situation, it will give me 10 power 100 times a half. So, and this one simplifies with that. Then that's how I'm getting this. And the K is going to be 50. Well done. I hope we are together here. Now, the line L has an equation of this, okay? The first thing you have to see whenever you have an equation like that, because the straight line graph has mx plus c, okay? So it's better to expand and you have clearly, explicitly, you can be able to see this is 10. That's my equation, okay? That's my equation, okay? Where the gradient is 2x and the c or y-intercept is negative 10. Find the coordinates of the point where the line L intersects the y-axis. Intersecting y-axis is the value of c, and it's negative 10. Also, you can do it by remembering if you're talking about y-intercept at this point all the time x is 0. So that means, I'm just giving an example here, that means at this point all the time x is 0, so that means I can substitute here 0, still I'll get the same answer. Find the x coordinate of the point where y equals 9. So y equals 9. That means I have to come here and equate it to 19, because the y is 19. Y is 19. So 19 equal to 2x minus 10. So bring this one, 19 plus 10 gives me 20 divided by 2. This is what you're going to get, okay? Fantastic. Now, the line arrow is perpendicular. Keyword here. It's very important. It's paramount and vital to go to a GCSE exam when you know parallel lines and perpendicular lines, okay? In this exam, they both perpendicular lines. Trust me, those are going to do exams in this coming year, that's May 2026, November, even March 2026, May, June 2026, or October, November. Trust me, you're going to have a question on parallel lines. I don't know in which way, but trust me, you're going to have that. Or they'll bring the perpendicular again, because they like that. It's very common in the exams, okay? So what do you know about perpendicular lines? Two lines are perpendicular only and only if the product of the two lines, the gradient of the two lines is equal to -1. Basically, gradient of the second line is equal to -1 over m1. You should know this one very well, perfectly, very well. It's very important, very good. Now, the line P is perpendicular to line L. Do you still remember line L, guys? What was it? What was our line L? It was y equal to x minus 10. So what's the gradient of that line? The gradient is this. So that's why the gradient of line 1 is the gradient of line 1 is 2. And then using this gradient, this formula, gradient of the second line is -1 over gradient of line 1 if they're perpendicular lines. Therefore, the gradient of the line that is perpendicular to L will be given by that. And then the line P passes through this point, okay? Oh, it's passing through this point? So that means this point is not given as the makeup or decoration. It's given for a reason. It's given so that you can be able to get the y-intercept. Okay, are we together, guys? Come on. Good. So y equals to -1 over 2x plus c. I'm using that. Now, y is 3. You put c, put 3 here, and x is 2. Substitute here. Okay? X is 2, y is 3. So what do? When I multiply here, I'm going to have negative 1. When I take the other side, it will be 4. So my C will be that. This is the equation perpendicular to the line L. So it's given by that, which you can write in different ways. So even here, people, guys, some textbooks, they use this. It's also a formula, use it. It's up to you to decide which one to go with. Me, I know all of them. I don't have any problem, okay? Sorry. Minus x0 or x1, okay? You can go with any here. So y minus 3 equals to the gradient, which is negative a half, bracket x minus 2. So when you open the brackets and take 3 the other side, also we give you that, okay? Very good. Next question. Are we together, guys? Now, just invest 1,400 US dollars in account. The account pays a compound interest at T, an interest rate of R%. In other words, interest rate is not given per year. At the end of 4 years, the total investment, the value of investment is that. Okay? This is that. Initially, he started with this, and then after a certain period of time, has this, and it's compound interest. Be careful. You have to identify if it's compound interest or simple interest. So this time around, it's compound interest, and the formula of compound interest is A equals to P, bracket 1 plus R over 100 power N, where P is the amount of money invested, R is the percentage interest, N is the number of years, A is the total value of the amount after a given period of time. Okay? Now, the value of A is that, and then amount of money invested, which is P, is this one. R, that one, R, I mean 1 plus R over 100 power 4. So you need to reverse because you're solving. So I have to divide by 1,400 both sides and then do 4th root of that. That's why I have this step and this step. Should I repeat one more time? So, because this is body mass, they are multiplied. So they multiplied here. I have to divide. So that's why I have this one over this. Then it's power 4. I do 4th root of that. I will begin with 1 plus C R over 100. So I have to take this one on the other side. It's plus, so it will be minus. So my answer in my calculator, minus that. Keep the answer in your head. So this is divided, I multiply by 100, and basically it will give me this in my calculator. Keep your answer in a calculator, okay? Question 15. M is the inversely proportion to the square root of T plus 2, and M is 0.5, and T is 23. Find the value of T, I mean value of M when T is 98. The keyword here, very important one, inverse proportion. So if things are inversely proportion, let me just give a simple example. It's K over X, something, inverse proportion. For direct proportion, is Y equals to KX, okay? Now, basing on that, M is inversely proportion to the square root. Be careful, guys, square root of that. So meaning M is equal to K, square root of T plus that. You see, this is just a hint, okay? Because they're inversely proportional. Now, after writing this, the next thing is to find the value of M. So how do you get the value of M? To get the value of M, you use this. These ones are given for a reason, guys. Okay, M is 0.5 and T is that. So I'm going to have 0.5 equals to K, 23 plus over 20, square root of 23 plus C. 2, this is 25, square root of 25 is 5. So I'll get 0.5 equals to K over 5. Cross multiply, K will be equal to that, okay? Now, they said find the value of M when T is that. So after getting the value of K, go back to my formula here. This is that, M is equal to K over that. So it's going to be M equals to, this is my K, M equals to 2.5 over square root of T, which is the 98 plus 2, because that's what was given, guys. So what is the 98 plus 2? That's 100. Square root of 100 is the 10. That gives me that, okay? Good, I hope we are together. Shading. This is the question given. Now, y less or equal to 3. I'll start by trying to identify y equals to 3. Y equals to 3 is this one. And they said the values of y are less than 3. And we are shading it unwanted. So values of y are less than 3. Values that are less than 3 of y is 1, 2. I mean 2, 1, 0, and negative. That means it's down. So I have to shade up because it's unwanted. I'm shading. Now, next, x less or equal to that. That's x equals to 2. I need to identify that. Where is x equals to 2? X equals to 2 is here. And they said values of x are less. So values of x which are less than 2 are this side. So unwanted will be the other side. That's why I shaded here. Here they said y is less x plus 3. So we'll remove inequality, put there this, draw the line by choosing 2 points, or because it's a straight line, there is a different way you can do that one, but I prefer using a table. So when x is 0, y will be 3, and when x is negative 1, y is going to be that, and it's just 3 points are enough, and then you're going to have your line as that. So they said values of y are less than 3. So less is always below. But if you're not sure, you can choose any number anyway. Can I choose this point here, guys? Okay, if I choose this point, what point is that? That's a negative 2, negative 2, 5, okay? Let me put it in my question and I see. They told us y is less than x plus 3, okay? Now, y is 5. Y is 5, okay? Okay, less x is negative 2 plus 3, and then I'll get 5 less 1. Is this true? That's false, right? 5 is greater than 1. So that is unwanted part. If I choose any number here, it will be true. But because I don't have time, I won't do more than that, okay? But that's the idea. Now, there's one more thing I need to mention here, because they're very common questions in exam. So it's also very important to know this. Now, be careful. Here we have this and this, or this, or this. Here, your line should always be straight line. Should always be straight line. Here, your line should be a broken line. If you check, that's why this is a broken line and why this one is a broken line, but this is a straight line. Be careful, okay? Very good. Question 17. In the Venn diagram below, shade A union B intersection C complement. Guys, what is A union B? It's everything. A union B, everything. You are shading the whole of A, the whole of B. Then C complement. You shade everything except C, so including outside. So what you shaded here for this, and what you have shaded here, which one is common, guys? It will be only this. Okay? So if you want to understand the details, listen to what I'm going to say. You first work out A union B, work out C complement, and then you find the common part. Because this time around, it is intersection. Okay? Because intersection, you have to look for the part shaded for A union B and the part shaded for C complement. Very good. Okay? Next question. This is a cuboid given. Calculate the volume. Volume of a cuboid is length times width times height. So it's this times that times that. That will be the volume. Okay. Now calculate the total surface area. So surface area of a cuboid is given by. Let me give you the formula. It can be written in different ways, but I prefer writing it in this way. Okay. It's length times width plus 2 bracket length times height, then plus 2 bracket width times height. Okay. Now, where does the formula come from? Do you see here now, guys? Let me shade the area here. Do you see the bottom part? I'm talking about the bottom part. Do you see that? What shape is that? That's a rectangle, right? So the rectangle, to get its area, will be this one times that. But this bottom part is exactly the same as that. That's why there is times 2 here. And that's why the formula is like that. And then, if you come to this, do you see here? This face here is the same as this face. How are we going to get the area of that? It will be this one, which is length, times height. That's why you see I have this one as well. So basically, we have different rectangles, which are 2 opposite rectangle faces. You get the area of 1, but 5 by 2. Okay? Very good. Then they said calculate the angle between AB, as I have drawn that, and the horizontal base of a cuboid, as indicated. This is the area they're talking about. So if you take it out, it will be exactly that. I don't have AB. Here, this is A, this is the B, altogether, and then this is the This is A, B. Here they didn't specify. You can put there X, it doesn't matter. So this is X here, okay? Now we need AB. AB is the diagonal of the base. So which will be base carry. Here I didn't put the square. This should be squared. So base carry, you have a rectangle at the bottom. But I'm coming, just a second, okay? So I have this. This is the diagonal. And this is 13.2, and this is 4.5. This is that. So now to get that, because this is 90 degrees, I have to do Pythagoras theorem. That's why I have that. So now that means I have the base and I have height. So Katua, guys, I hope you remember that. Okay? So Katua, right? Okay? So Katua. So it's going to be basically what we have is tan, opposite adjacent over hypotenuse. So tan is that, divide by that, and type this in your calculator, and then you're done. Okay? Very good. Next question. The table shows some information given. Okay? This is a cumulative frequency curve. So they give you the upper class limit of your value. So I'm going to sketch 30 because they're asking me to draw the cumulative frequency curve. It has to be this on x-axis and this is on y-axis. So fast forward. So I'm not going to do all of them, but I need a sketch here for you. 36. So you have to identify this curve. Very important. Whenever you are drawing in IGCSE, even in any other exams you are doing, be careful with this curve. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is 0 to 40. So what is 40 divided by 10? So that means each line on y-axis starts for 4. What about here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 10 divided by 10. So the square on on x-axis is going to be 1. You have to know that very well. Very good. Now, the first thing to plot was 36. 30, the coordinate is 30 on the x-axis and 6, okay? So that means I have to come on 30. This is 4, so it will be between, because 8 is up. So it had to be somewhere in the middle, okay? Keep on doing exactly the same thing. Those are my points. So you keep on checking x. X is going to be this. This is going to be on the x-axis. And then this one is going to be on your y-axis, okay? Now, they said find an estimate of 75 percentile, okay? 75th percentile, okay? Now, that means you have to get 75 over 100 times 200. Why times 200? If you check the last number here, okay, which is this one. So that is it. So it gives me 150. Then come to 150 here, you read your value here. I did an estimation, I got this value. You can be more accurate and confirm with that. Okay, very good. Question 20. Stefan has 2 bags, A and B, each containing red sweets and yellow sweets only. He picks 2 sweets at random, one from bag A and another from bag B. The probability Stefan picks red sweet from bag A is this. You need to be careful with that. Okay, let me highlight that. Okay, this is the probability of picking red sweet from bag A. The probability that Stefan picks a red sweet from bag A and bag B is that. And means multiplication. I mean probability of bag A, probability of picking sweet red sweet from that, times probability of picking it from that, equals to, because they said and, so which will give me 2 over 15, okay? Very good. Now, so to find the probability that Stefan picks a red sweet from bag A. So that means I have probability of that, which is 3 over 5, times probability of picking a red sweet from bag B should give me the one given here. So what does that mean? It means P, I'll multiply by 5 and divide by 3. So which gives me this, and when you simplify, it will give you that. Find the probability that Stefan picks yellow sweet from bag A. Remember, from here, they said they have only red, sweet, and yellow. And probability of A, probability, formula that is very important to know. Probability of A plus probability of B. Sorry, I wanted the A complement. Probability of A complement is always 1. So if there are only 2 colors in the bag, there is red, sweet, and yellow, basically means if the one of red is this, the yellow one will be 1 minus 3 over 5. What does that mean? That gives me 2 over 5. Do you understand that? Okay, write down that. Now, if probability of picking red sweet from a big B is that, what about the yellow in that one? Will be 1 minus 2 over 9, which is 7 over 9. So I've got the probabilities of yellow sweets in both bag A and bag B. For bag B is this, yellow sweets in bag B. The yellow sweets in bag A is this one, okay? Let me highlight them. Now, find the probability that Stefan picks yellow sweets from bag A and yellow from bag B. So definitely, if you have understood my answers and means multiplication, then you might find them and get that. Okay, very good. I hope we are together. Very good question in the exam here. Has how many marks? 4. Very good question. Now, the diagram shows an equilateral triangle. The first thing to underline, guys, what do you know? Do you know about equilateral triangle? All the sides are equal, and each angle is going to be 60 degrees. Basically, this is 60, and also here is 60 degrees, and this one is also 60 degrees. Are we together? Very good. Now, if that is the case, with all sides being with all sides of the length 12 centimeters. So basically, this is 12, and the whole of this is 12, and the whole of this is 12. But they told you n lies on AC, such that AN, the ratio of AN to NC is given by that. Basically, AN is 2 over 3 total ratio times the total length, which is that. So if you work out that, you're going to get the total length is 12. If this is 8, this is 4. Exactly the same thing here. I hope you have understood that. The total ratio, 2 plus 1, that. 2 divided by 3 times 12. So gives me 8. The whole of this is 12. 12 minus 8 gives me 4. Okay. Calculate the area of the shaded part. So the whole of this is a triangle, and we have a sector. So how do we get the area of the shaded part? Should be the area of a triangle minus area of a sector. So how do we get the area of a triangle that's not a right angle triangle? I have AB sine C. I have AB sine C. So it's going to be a half times this, which is 12 times 12, sine 60. If you work out that in your calculator, you're going to get. You can give it as a decimal, or you just give it as an exact value. Now, area of a sector is angle over 360 times z pi r squared. So it's going to be 60 over 360 times pi times the radius of a sector. This is your sector. So the radius is 8. It's not 12. Okay. So when you work out, you're going to have that. The area of the shaded part will be the area of a triangle minus area of a sector, area of a triangle minus area of a sector, which will give you that. And to 3 significant figures, you are going to have that. Okay. A metal cube has a mass of that. Okay, that's your mass. And correct 1 decimal place. Correct 1 decimal place. 0.1 over 2 gives me 0.5. No, 0.5, sorry. And the upper bound of that will be 14.2 plus or minus 0.5. So the upper bound will be that, and lower bound will be that. And the question was asking me find lower bound. So my lower bound is that one. The length, the side length of a cube is that. Corrected to 1 decimal place. Again, 0.1 divided by that. So give me 0.01 divided by 2 equals to 0.05 And that gives me, can I write it better for you guys? Okay, this is 0.05. Okay, now upper bound and lower bound will be that you add. Okay, so after adding and you get that, calculate the upper bound. We are looking for upper bound of the density, and density is mass over volume. So if you're looking for upper bound and you are dividing, it should have upper over lower, but its density equals to mass over volume. So I don't have the volume, so I need to get the volume first. And I have to know if I'm looking for density, which is upper, that means I have to get upper bound of mass, which is this, overall bound of volume. So that's how I'm using this. Volume of a cuboid, of a cube, sorry, it will be this one power 3. Okay, volume of a cube is side power 3. And the side is this times that, times that, times that. So basically it gives me this, and then when you divide it, you get that. Let me repeat one more time. When you are dividing and you're looking for upper bound, it should be upper over lower. Do you understand? When you're subtracting, the same thing. But if you're multiplying, or adding, upper goes with upper, lower and lower. But if you're subtracting or dividing, and you're looking for upper bound, will be upper over lower. If you're looking for lower bound, will be lower bound over upper bound. Okay, good. Very common questions in exams as well. Very good, interesting question. Okay. Wow, I like this question. But I like IGCSE, it's amazing. Good. It's such a very interesting question. Now, from the diagram, we have the radius of a big cone. When I say big cone, I mean everything, including this, before they cut off anything. That is your cone, okay? I'm just trying to show you that, okay? I hope you get that. That is the big cone. Now, calculate the volume of this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is in 3D shapes you studied. Your teacher taught you there's no shape that looks like that. So, what does that mean? It means there is no any other way we can approach this question trying to get the volume of this. Only way to go forward is to get the big cone before they cut off this, take away the smaller cone they cut off. That's what you mean with the frustrum. That's what you're going to remain with. Do you get my point? Now, the challenge in the question, I don't have the radius of this cone. I don't have the radius of this cone. Okay? Because I have the height, but I don't have the radius. So let me call it R. So using similarity, that means this side is similar to that because the shapes are similar. So that's how I'm using the big radius over the small radius is equal to the big, the length. You see here? This is 4.5. 4.5. And what about here? So the total length is 12. Do you get that? So the big radius of a smaller radius, the big radius of a big cone over radius of a small cone, the one they cut off, big radius of a big cone before they cut off that, divided by the height of a small cone they cut off. So that gave me the. So when you make R the subject, this time is that 12R, and you divide. So the radius of a small cone is given by that. What's the formula for volume of a cone, guys? Volume of a cone is given by 1/3. It's given by that, but there's nothing wrong from knowing this. Okay? I always advise students, it's better get the formula to your head. It's good because it's very important to help you. So that's the volume. So when you apply the volume of a big cone, it will be 1/3 times pi r squared, the radius of a big cone, 4.2 times the height of a big cone, 4.5 plus 7.5, that gives me 12. So that's the volume of a big cone. What's the volume of a small cone? 1/3 times pi times the radius of a small cone, the one we got here, squared times 7.5, because it's the height of our small cone, and that gives me this. So the volume of frustrum is going to be volume of a big cone minus the volume of a small cone, and gives you this. Wow, I like this question. I enjoy mathematics. That is it. Thank you. Very good. Fantastic question. Good. The histogram is drawn. The histogram shows the information about the distance some people travel to work. Okay, this is the histogram. Now, before I proceed, they talked about histogram. So whenever you hear histogram, one thing that should come in your mind is what we call frequency density. Because histogram is drawn on y-axis by frequency density against class limits. Okay, here class limits or class limits, class boundaries, and then this is frequency density. And frequency density is always given by frequency over class width. Frequency density equals to frequency over class width. Okay, fantastic. Now, they told me to copy and complete that, okay? Now, if that's the case, I'm going to do one question and then you can proceed with the rest. Now, from here, what's the value? As I told you, it's very important to know the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So every line is 0.1. So this is 2.1, 2.2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 2.8, okay? Now, that means from the formula here, if I'm looking for frequency, I'll get this times that. You get that? So frequency, frequency is frequency density times class width, and this is 2.8. Okay? 2.8 times the class width. This is 0, this is 5, this is 10, this will be 15 here, and then this will be 25 somewhere in the middle, and then you proceed with the rest, okay? Now, to get the frequency will be 2.8 times 5. I'm using this formula. Frequency density is equal to frequency over class width. If I'm looking frequency, it has to be frequency density times class width. So that's how this is it for 10. Now, what about here? This is 3.1, 2, 3, 4. 3.4 times the class width is 5. 10 minus 5. That's where I'm getting 5 from. Okay? But when you check, they combine all the way to 20. So for this one only, it will be 3.4 times 5. What about all the way to 20? Again, it will be 2 times 10. So this is that, guys, because I have this, which is from 5 to 10. So the class width here is 5. 10 minus 5, 5. Then here was 3.4. That's why I got 3.4 times 5. What about here? It is 10. This is 2, so 2 times 10. So when you add that, it gives you, it will give you 37, okay? If you check, I have 37 there. Then the next one, they said 20 to 50. 20 to 50. Basically, it's this and this. Now, it's going to be, what about here? This is 1.6. The class width is from 20 to 30, so the difference is 10. So 1.6 times 10. And then from here to here is 20. And this is 0.4. So that's why I have this. So it gives me 16 and then gives me that. I hope you understand. When you add them, gives you that. Are you together, guys? Very good. Math is very interesting. Now, fast forward. The people who travel a distance greater, you have to be careful with that, to work, have a car allowance. Okay, if you are moving a distance more than 35, you get allowance. Okay, where is the 35 and more? They're talking about this. Do you get that, guys? Okay, there are different ways of doing that. Let me do it in this way. So, what's this, guys? This is 0.4. The frequency density. Here is 0.4. So it's 0.4. That's one of the advantages of having histogram. Times the class width from here to here. From here to here. So, what is it's going to be 15, guys, okay? Do you see that? Because I'm from 35 to 50. 50 minus 35, 50 minus 35 gives me 15. So this one gives me 6. Do you understand how I get 6, guys? Because they told me find how many people, calculate an estimate of the number of these people who have a car allowance. They are those who travel a distance greater than 35 kilometers. So that's how I got it, and it's 6, okay? Wow, sketch a sine graph. So whenever you're sketching a sine graph, you have to know sine graph has a period of 360. So you get 360 divided in 2, you get your midpoint, and I divide by 2, and then I get 190. Then this plus this gives me this. Now, sine curve Sine 0 is 0, then sine 90 is 1, for 180 is 0, for this one is negative, and then with your free hand, you join your point. That's your sine curve. Solve the equation is this in the interval of this, okay? That is the range of the values given, the domain of the x values. They are given from 0 to that. So I have to take this on the other side. What's 1 minus 2? Gives me, this is 1. So will give me 5 sine x equals to negative 1. Divide by 5, sine x is equal to 1 over 5. X will be equal to sine inverse of 1 over 5. So you're going to get the negative value. But your answers are supposed to be between 0 to 360. Now, you need to remember what I always like, okay? All students take chemistry. What does that mean? Means all sine, cos, and tan, they are positive in the first quarter. Sine is positive in the second quarter. That means sine is positive, cos and tan are negative. In the third quarter, it's only tan that is positive. That means sine and cos are negative. Basically, basing on the context of the question we have here, sine will be negative here and here. We're looking for the angles in the third and fourth quadrant. So how do we get the angles in the third quadrant? 180, 180 minus your acute angle plus your acute angle, and then here 360 minus your acute angle. So my acute angle here, I will just use it 11.54. So when you work out that, when you do 180 plus that gives me this. Okay, to 3 significant figures, because normally angles, if you check from page 1, the instruction says give it 1 decimal place. So when you get 360 minus 11.54 gives me that, okay? Very good. Now, this is the question. This side is this side is given by that. This is a question about vectors. So they said find x, y. Find x, y. So if they're asking me to get this is the part they're asking me. Altogether here. Now, if this is what they're asking me, that means I have to go like that. If I go like this will be negative because I'm moving in the negative direction plus 12. Okay, very good. You can write in the details if you want. You say x, y is the xo plus o, y. But if you're smart enough, you can see it's this plus that. Okay, now xt ratio to a ty is given by 1 to 2. And the yp is given by that. It's given here, okay? Good. Now, what does that mean? Meaning this one, xt is 1 out of the total ratio, 1 out of 3. Then total ratio here, guys, is 3. That's where I'm getting 3 from. Okay? Now, how do we get this now? This one, it is 2 out of total ratio. But what is our total ratio, guys? We are talking about xy, and we have already got xy. Okay? Xy is here. Now, OT, because they told me find the ratio of OT. OT is ox plus xt. You can check. OT will be this plus that. You get that? Okay? Now, OT, we have OX from, you can see it here. Then plus xt. Xt is 1 over 3 of that. That is why I have here. Then when you simplify, that is it. The remaining part is TP. TP will be equal to TP. TP is this one. So it will be this plus that. 2 over 3 of xy plus yp. Okay, that's why I'll get 2 over 3 of xy plus this value, right? So when you simplify here, this one gives me -2. When I simplify here, will give me 8 plus that. When you simplify that, the question is asking me to find the ratio. Ratio, you're just going to get divide. I prefer to get the big, divide by small. This is bigger than this, if you can see. That's why I prefer to get this divided by. Whatever I divide by now, it doesn't matter as long as you get the ratio. But they said it OT to TY. So that's why I did it. This one divided by that. So which will give me this and then this simplifies with that. I factorize it, then gives me that, and then I get my ratio as 2 to 3. Okay, thank you very much. I think this is the last question. Thank you for watching my YouTube. You're always welcome to EK Math Academy. I have done this paper, May 2025, question paper 4.3 times 1.43. The next one is going to be 4.2. Stay here. Stay with EK Math. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Okay? We love mathematics here. Thank you, guys. Please, if you have any question, write in the comments. I'll get back to you anytime, any day. I'm always available to help you. I love and enjoy teaching mathematics.